How can you invest and make money in today's real estate market? Welcome to the Successful Investor Show, where we talk with successful real estate investors, business owners, and busy professionals on their journey to wealth. They share their best ways and advice to make massive gains in today's market. Make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an episode. Now, here is your host, Doron Nissim.
Welcome everyone to the Successful Investor Show, where we talk about how to passively invest and create passive income and generational wealth. I'm your host, Doron Nissim, and today I have the pleasure to have Daniel Martinez. Daniel, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you? How you doing today?
I'm good. Daniel was a truck driver, and in 2018 he became an entrepreneur. His dad was his inspiration. He kept pushing him to start his own thing. And in 2018, he started to invest in real estate. He created his own software. So let's hear you, Daniel. Let's hear your story. Exciting.
Thanks for having me on. But yeah, you kind of did an overview there. But I used to operate forklifts, used to load trucks, and then I got into driving trucks. Our first company I started was driving trucks. We got up to 5 trucks at one point as an owner-operator, which is big 18-wheelers. And then eventually from there pivoted into real estate. After I started doing real estate and land, I then went into software, and now I do a little bit of real estate land. I do a lot of real estate land software, which I still run, and then I do a lot of I'm starting education right now to teach people how to do big land deals.
Wow. So how did you start the real estate, basically? I mean, you were doing the track, you learned about real estate. How did you started this?
So my first business didn't actually work out, which is a trucking business. So while I was doing that, I was looking for another avenue to pivot into, and I started learning about real estate at that point. So I started learning about wholesaling. I contracted a few houses that didn't go through for whatever reason. One had it too high, seller passed away, and then another one I lost earnest money on it because I couldn't find a buyer for it. So a lot of things happened, and then I eventually found my first land deal, and I made like $6,500. After 7 months of doing it, I made $6,500 on my first deal, and it was a land deal. So I just been doing land ever since.
Wow. It sounds like a hard work, but it's also exciting because you were able to push through the 6 months, 7 months and do your first deal after those few deals that, that you lost. And that's how it is in real estate, basically. I mean, you start, it's hard. You have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And eventually you make your first deal. And then, you have the process going.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, it was definitely a grind. Definitely wasn't easy. I mean, even what I do now is not easy, but we got a good rhythm with it. And we're doing a lot of big things these days.
Right. So tell us about your software company that you formed after you were successful in real estate.
So, for everybody here, I'm sure you're going down the Podio route and trying to use Podio in some way, shape, or form. That's usually how people end up when they go into real estate. You do a CRM. I saw opportunity to create Hivemind, and I just went in and started the company. Me and my partner, and I just needed something to run my real estate business through, just because I didn't have anything at that moment. So for everybody here struggling, at some point you have to get a CRM, just help manage your leads and follow up with them and do a lot of the stuff that you do manually to be more effective and efficient. So I started Hivemind a little over 2 years ago, and I've been running it. We've had 16 clients hit 6-figure months, and I run all my business through Hivemind no matter what I do. But we do texting, forms, payroll, collecting payments and all that stuff all through Hivemind. So it's a pretty cool platform. But we help a lot of small businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of real estate people just control their marketing to sellers.
Right. So real estate, if you do it on a high volume, you create a lot of data and a lot of leads and a lot of phone numbers and it becomes so much, and you got to have a system to deal with all that.
Yep.
So basically you created a system to follow up and do everything with a system.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's what we started. Like I said, it's been really, really good. I have a team of 5 VAs now on that side that assist me, and then we're just here to help businesses become more effective and automated.
Yeah, and definitely once you have a system going on and everything has a workflow, you can make much better deals much faster. have and know where your business is going. So that's basically it's a good indication of how to grow and scale your business.
100%.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a necessity.
So in your real estate career, was there like amazing deal that you want to share with us? Something like the best deal?
We've done a lot of cool deals. A lot of I would say my best deal is kind of created us the idea of what we do now. But for everybody here listening, we did this deal about a year and a half ago, and we found a lot, vacant lot for it was worth about 35,000. Seller came up to us and he said he wanted it for 15. We ended up negotiating that deal down to $8,000 3 months later, and we sold it on Facebook Marketplace with $8,000 down, 500 a month for 5 years. So
Wow.
with that little deal, no money out of pocket, all the buyer funds went straight to the seller, and now we're collecting 500 a month. Like it takes like people like a rental, $250,000 rental to bring that much cash flow, and we're doing it with a little $35,000 lot. So I think that one was like the epiphany, best deal about a few years ago that we did. That just like, okay, if we can find more deals like this and just create cash flow and be out of the deal completely, that's what we like doing. So that kind of gave us the structure of what we do now, just with larger deals to continue on and create cash flow.
Wow. It's amazing strategy. Basically, your buyer paid a down payment, which was your whole cash to close, the 8,000 purchase price, $8,000, and now it's paying you $500 a month. How much was the sell price that you sold it?
I think we oversold it for like 40,000.
Wow.
I forget what the exact amount was. It was like 480 paid out or something like that a year. It's pretty much $500 for 5 years.
Awesome.
It was such a good deal, and that's kind of gave us the framework of what all the deals we do now, and we just kind of dug into that niche and strategy.
Yeah, it's a great strategy to do. So in the beginning, you told us that you had a few deals that actually didn't work and didn't went through. So do you want to tell us about a deal that went sour, a bad deal that you did, or something like that?
Yeah, so this is probably about 2 or 3 months into the deal, into doing real estate. Didn't know anything about contracts, paperwork, real estate, nothing at all. But I found this old 100-year-old house. It was like a 102-year-old house. It was like a 5-bed, 7-bath house with like 7
Wow.
fireplaces. It was huge, huge. Outside it looked rough, but once you got inside, everything was nice. It had wood floors, original wood floors, like everything was still there. It looked beautiful inside. I contracted it. We were set to close, and I had a buyer in place. I was gonna make like 30 grand. It was like 27.5 or something like that. It was close to 30 grand. And the weekend, we're supposed to close on a Monday. The Friday, the seller passed away
Wow.
right before close. So I just kind of let it go because I didn't want to deal with when is it too soon to hit up the family members and when they want to sell again.
Yeah.
I actually checked up on it recently. They ended up selling it a year later to somebody else at the same price point, right in the
Wow.
middle of, which was probably worth like when I contracted it, it was probably worth about 330, and after COVID, it was probably worth over 400,
Right.
and they still sold it for 100 grand.
Oh my God. What a mess. That's why you need a system to follow up on your old leads. Make sure you're not missing anything. Yeah,
100%.
definitely. So, what are the deal sizes that you do these days? You said that you mainly focus on land, but what is a typical deal for you?
Right now, we're doing a lot of big land. We just got a contract yesterday, so I think we have like $21 million of land under contract, and then we're sold. We're buying and selling a lot of land, so we'll buy, subdivide, and sell off the land. So like we just had a sale this weekend, a 1-day sale on Saturday, which today is Monday, or today's Tuesday. We had a sale on Saturday. We sold over $2 million worth of land in 1 day.
Wow.
So it's a pretty exciting little niche we're in, but we have a lot of land to sell all over the place from Texas. We own property in Florida. We're getting property in North Carolina. But most of our property is in Texas, so we're excited about that. But we're doing a lot of bigger land deals. We're starting to do commercial now. But it's all land, 100% land.
Yeah, definitely. Land is a good opportunity, and not a lot of people do that. So
Definitely not a lot of people do that.
yeah, it's a great niche to be in. So in today's real estate market, where prices going down and buyers are stop buying or stop bidding over, asking price. What are you guys doing to mitigate the risk when you go into a deal?
Well, most of the deals we're going into usually 50 cents in the dollar, all of them. We're picking them up off the MLS. A lot of the deals we're getting, and then one of the things we do is we sell our finance. So whenever we sell our finance, it's just like a car. People don't look at the monthly payment. They don't look at the total value of what they're getting. They look at how much they have to put down and how much per month. That's it. So
Right.
we sell our land usually over comps, and that's how we're usually mitigating our risk. So as long as they can afford the monthly payment and the down payment, they're taking it.
Right. Yeah, it's a good strategy to, do mitigate risk, because basically you're not paying a lot of money. You're just giving them a low down payment, and the buyer is going to pay much higher. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a good strategy to mitigate risk, especially in this market when you don't know where the market's going to go. It's going to go more down, higher, going to stay. Yeah. So now I want to move forward to the four questions, the fire round questions that
Okay.
we have. Those are four success questions that's going to help our viewers to be more successful. So the first one: what is your three best success habits that you have in your business or in your life?
Three best success habits. I think it's betting on yourself early, um, making sure you have money for marketing, and I think the third one would probably be know who your target audience is
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
buy and sell side.
Definitely. I mean, marketing and knows who is your client is definitely very important. You talked about marketing. Well, what can you tell us about marketing? Because people don't think that marketing is important.
Well, I mean, marketing is the lifeblood of your business. I think I say this all the time. This is one of my mentors said this. He says the difference between a big company and a small company is the big company has more leads. That's it. They're not better
Right.
salesmen. They're not better closers. They're not better at anything. And he's like, oh, I have a killer sales team. No, they just have more leads to burn. That's all it is. If you get enough leads, you're going to get a laydown. Whether you're the best negotiator or not, you're going to get a laydown. It's guaranteed. So it's just funding enough marketing to get enough lead flow, and once you get enough lead flow, you get enough deal flow.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of people, especially the small companies, they tend to cut on marketing, spend less, and don't do everything. They don't do everything that they need to do on marketing, and that's why they stay small, basically. And people can't figure out what to do, but it's all there.
No, it really is. It's an easy problem to fix, and it's just spend more money on marketing, and you'll get more leads. You get more leads, you get more closes. You make more closes, you make more money.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah. So, moving to the next questions, what is a good resource that you use in your business?
Number one resource I use is probably Hivemind, which is I think a self plug, but Zillow, and I use a 10BII calculator a lot, which is a financial calculator for
Oh,
mortgages and
right. Because you do a lot of owner financing deals, you need that calculator, right?
I do it a lot. I mean, right now it's like where people have like their phone, their contacts, and their pictures. Mine, it's my phone, that's calculator, and then messages. Like it's right there. It's one of my most used apps. I use
That's
it all
awesome.
every day, pretty much.
That's awesome. And whenever you talk to a client, to a buyer, you can do the quick
Just numbers
calculation,
real quick. Yep, and
tell them exactly where the payment's going to be and how everything's going to look.
yep.
And that's what you need, definitely.
Mhm.
So what are your three tips for people to make money today in real estate?
One, I would say try land out. A lot of people are scared of it. Most people that do houses, like, yeah, I did a land deal once, and it was the most money ever made, but I still do houses, and I'm like, okay. Try out land. It's such a unique strategy. There's a lot more inventory than any other asset class, a lot less competition. You can usually get a great cash deal. It's just a really unique strategy. I would say learn creative finance. Creative finance is another big thing. Whether you do any asset class, creative finance is a bonus. It just helps you negotiate better and get more yeses than nos.
Mhm.
And I think a third thing you should learn in real estate is how to comp. Depending on your asset class, you need to know the numbers of your asset class, whether it's land, multifamily, houses. You need to know your numbers. Bottom line.
Right. Yeah, knowing the numbers is going to make make your life much easier when you go into a deal. You know where you're going into. You know where you're going to sell it. Definitely, you need to know the comps, and you need to know what your buyers are going to buy, what your buyers are going to pay. Basically,
100%.
it's very important, and yeah. Um, so the next one is for people that have full-time job, but they still want to invest in real estate. What is your best advice for them?
People that have full-time jobs. One, I would pay for more lead flow because you don't have the ability to cold call or mass text, because if you work a regular 9 to 5, you might not be available during peak hours. So we recommend our clients to do like PPC ads, work with somebody to set up PPC. That way you might get 1 or 2 leads a day or a week or whatever that looks like. And it's something it's manageable, but they're hot. So you have a larger conversion rate just because the leads are hotter and they're inbound, and you can work them easier because you have a full-time job.
Right. So if people wants to get into real estate, actually, you're talking about wholesaling, you're talking about an agent, things like that, doing more marketing as a PPC or Facebook, things like that.
Do inbound leads.
Inbound leads.
Inbound leads.
Right.
If you have the ability to do outbound, that's where you have more time. But if you don't have that much time, do inbound leads.
Right. What do you see the most successful thing in your business right now that works?
Right now it's the big land, man. Big land works for us. We're able to make great returns. We're able to make a lot of big money at the same time. A lot of people won't even touch $1 million deal because it's too scary.
Right.
And the way we've been able to dissect and kind of mitigate that risk, it's really been beneficial to us and our lenders. So we try and use as little private capital as possible. But we've been able to do a few subdivides with no capital at all, just by asking creative finance and doing unique structures on the front end. So you can be creative with your buying on the buy side, but once you have the capital in place, it kind of opens up your buyer pool, because now you can maybe pay cash in 90 days or 180 days of due diligence, and that kind of gives you the cash financing gives you a little bit more leeway, but you can definitely do a lot of big deals even just creatively.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Well, what is, let me ask you the last question. What is your goal for the next year? Or where are you taking your business to?
I think the goal for the next year, we're trying to do like $10 million by the end of the year, just because our deals take a lot longer to do. They take 6 months to a year in most cases. So pretty much we're counting the end of our year probably towards the end of May. So anything we do from now to the end of May should finish out by the end of the year. And then we'll start in 2024 technically, because all these deals take longer. So
Wow.
we're trying to do $10 million of revenue this year. Who knows if we'll hit or not? Who knows? Like I said, we have 20 million under contract. But I think next year, shoot for 100. Who knows?
They definitely shoot for the stars. I mean, the higher, the better.
Yeah, and it gets easier with bigger deals. Like if you're doing houses, most houses are 250,000. So in order to hit $1 million, you have to do 4 houses. But that's just including the house buying. That's not profit. So if you're making an average of 20% per spread, you got to maybe do 80 houses.
Right.
It's a lot of deals. Whereas
Yeah.
this, do one deal and make $1 million. So your spreads become bigger when you deal with bigger asset classes and bigger assets.
Definitely. Yeah. The bigger the asset, the bigger the price, the bigger the profit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. Yeah, that was great. So people that want to get in touch with you, they want to reach out to you and get some insight on your business, how can they find you?
We're at Hivemind CRM on every platform. We have our own podcast, the Hive with Us podcast. You can see it right here. We're on Spotify, literally everywhere. YouTube at Hivemind CRM, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, we're there. If you consume content, we're there. We already have content there in some way, shape, or form.
Awesome. That was great. Yeah, I'm sure our viewers will love the episode and get a lot of insight and advice from you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate your time. For everybody, go do amazing things, and it takes one step at a time. Go take action and see what comes of it.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Successful Investor Show. If you're enjoying this podcast, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us on the next episode of the Successful Investor Show.